Have you ever seen a magazine cover that just stops you in your tracks? Time magazine has been doing that for decades, capturing history in a single image. Some of their covers are so powerful, they've become as famous as the stories themselves. Remember the one from 1966 that just asked, "Is God dead?" in bold red letters on a black background, sparked a nationwide debate. Or the 1978 cover showing a computer sculpture of a person heralding the computer revolution. They literally called it the Machine of the Year, predicting how much it would change our lives. Wow. And who could forget the haunting 9/11's cover? A simple, heartbreaking photo of the Twin Towers, with a black border, capturing a world changed forever. These aren't just magazine covers. They're snapshots of our collective memory, telling stories without saying a word. Which Time cover do you think is the most iconic? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into history. Ever wonder what a single picture can represent? Let's rewind to 1993. The world was watching South Africa as it dismantled apartheid, a brutal system of racial segregation. And at the heart of this historic change was one man, Nelson Mandela. After 27 years in prison, he walked free, not with vengeance, but with a vision for a united rainbow nation. That same year, Time magazine named him Person of the Year. Alongside F.W. de Klerk, Yasser Arafat, and Yitzhak Rabin as one of the peacemakers. But Mandela's portrait on that cover stood out. It wasn't just a face. It was a symbol of hope, resilience, and the incredible power of forgiveness. It told the world that even the deepest wounds could heal, and that a brighter, more inclusive future was possible. What a powerful legacy. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories behind the pictures. Remember the days when a magazine cover could stop you in your tracks? In September 2001, Time magazine did just that, and the world took notice. Their covers in the wake of the 9/11 attacks became more than just paper and ink. From the chilling renditions of the planes hitting the towers to the haunting images of the burning structures, these covers captured the raw shock and grief of a nation. They didn't just report the news. They crystallized a collective trauma. Later, memorial issues offered a space for reflection and remembrance. Decades later, these Time covers are still the images many of us picture when we think of that day and its aftermath. They serve as a powerful visual testament to a moment that changed the world forever. It's a stark reminder of how a single image can define an entire generation. Thanks for watching. Hey everyone, let's take a trip back in time. It's 1982, and Time magazine does something totally unprecedented. They name their Man of the Year, but it isn't a person. It's a machine, the personal computer. Can you imagine the buzz around that? This wasn't some distant room-sized mainframe anymore, suddenly. Technology was personal. It was something you could have in your home, on your desk. These magazine covers weren't just announcing a new gadget, they were signaling a massive cultural shift. They turned complex technological revolutions into a simple, powerful icon that everyone could understand. It was the moment the future officially arrived in our living rooms, promising to change everything about how we work, play, and connect. It's wild to think how that one cover captured the beginning of the digital world we live in today. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into history. Ever wonder why we're still so captivated by Marilyn Monroe, even decades after her time? A big part of the magic lies right here. In the magazine covers of the 1950s and 60s, these weren't just pretty pictures. They were a cultural phenomenon. Back then, magazines were the internet of their day, and a cover was like going viral. Marilyn had this incredible ability to blend bombshell glamour with a surprising touch of seriousness. When she appeared on the cover of a major publication, it was an event. These weren't just celebrity fluff pieces. They were carefully crafted portraits that captured her unique charisma and vulnerability. They fused Hollywood fantasy with mainstream appeal, creating images so powerful they've become timeless pop art. From her dazzling smile to that thoughtful gaze, each cover tells a story, cementing her as an icon who is still shaping our idea of stardom today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into pop culture history. Did you know you can track the entire 1960s cultural revolution just by looking at the Beatles on the cover of Time magazine? It's wild. Back in 1964, when they first appeared, they were these clean-cut, mopey-topped lads from Liverpool, symbolizing a fun new British invasion. The world was just getting to know them. But fast forward to 1967, the cover is completely different. It's psychedelic, colorful, and features the band with mustaches and a much more experimental look. This wasn't just about a change in hairstyle. It was a mirror to the seismic shifts happening in youth culture worldwide. They went from being a pop sensation to a global phenomenon, leading the charge from innocent rock and roll to a complex countercultural movement. Time magazine captured it all perfectly, showing how four musicians didn't just make music, they defined an era. Thanks for watching. If you love music history like this, hit that subscribe button for more. Have you ever seen a magazine cover that just stops you in your tracks? One that you remember years later? Think about those iconic Time magazine covers. What makes them so powerful and enduring? Well, there's a secret formula. First, they tell a story in a single glance. No words needed. You just get it. It's an instant narrative. Second, timing is everything. These covers often drop at major cultural turning points. When everyone is already paying attention to that specific topic, they capture the zeitgeist perfectly. Third, they are visually bold. They use striking photography and design that completely break the mold of a typical magazine cover. Finally, the editorial framing seals the deal. Time's massive influence turns these images into national conversation starters, making them impossible to ignore. So it's not just a picture. It's a perfect storm of story, timing, art, and influence. What's a cover you'll never forget? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives. Thanks for watching. 1993 was a landmark year. The world watched as South Africa began dismantling one of the most brutal systems of racial segregation in history, apartheid. And at the heart of this incredible transformation was one man, Nelson Mandela. That same year, Time magazine named him Person of the Year, alongside F.W. de Klerk, recognizing their pivotal roles in ending apartheid. But it was Mandela's portrait that truly captured the world's imagination. After 27 years in prison, his face wasn't one of bitterness, but of resilience and hope. It became a global symbol, not just of freedom for South Africa, but of reconciliation for all humanity. Mandela showed us that forgiveness is a superpower, and that one person's courage can indeed change the world. It's a lesson that continues to inspire us all. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that shaped our world. Picture this, April 8th, 1966. You walk past a newsstand, and a magazine cover stops you in your tracks. Bold red letters on a stark black background ask a question that shakes the very foundation of society. Is God dead? This wasn't just any headline. This was Time magazine, one of the most respected publications in the world. For the first time in its history, Time featured a cover with only text, no images, just those three provocative words. It was a cultural bombshell, igniting fierce debates in churches, coffee shops, and living rooms across America. The cover captured the turbulent spirit of the 1960s and era of social upheaval, questioning authority and searching for new meaning. More than just a magazine issue, it became a symbol of a generation grappling with faith, doubt, and the future. What do you think? Was it a sign of crisis or a catalyst for change? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Some images are so powerful they become etched into our collective memory. In September 2001, Time magazine released a series of covers that did just that, capturing the shock and horror of the 9/11 attacks. These weren't just photographs, they were historical documents in real time. The initial covers was stark. Chilling renditions of the planes hitting the towers and the inferno that followed didn't need sensational headlines. The images spoke for themselves, conveying a sense of disbelief and raw trauma that was felt across the nation and around the world. In the weeks that followed, the covers shifted, showing the smoldering ruins and eventually tributes and memorials. These Time magazine covers became a visual anchor for the tragedy. They crystallized the moment, the grief, and the resilience that would follow. Decades later, they remain some of the most powerful and enduring reference points for understanding the immediate aftermath of that fateful day. Thanks for watching. Have you ever seen a picture that completely changed your mind about something? That's the incredible power of photojournalism. For decades, it's brought the world's most distant and difficult stories right into our homes. Think about the Soviet era from the 1930s to the 50s. Powerful photographs of the gulags and the devastating famines exposed a reality that was hard to grasp through words alone. These images pierced through the propaganda, showing the human cost of political ideologies. Then came the Vietnam War. Photos of terrified children, intense combat, and massive anti-war protests back home dominated magazine covers. They didn't just report the news. They shaped public opinion on a massive scale, fueling debates and changing the course of history. A single photograph can sometimes say more than 1,000 words, and these moments prove it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more. Ever flipped through old magazines from the 70s or 80s? Feels like a time capsule, right? But look closer at the covers, especially on magazines like Time or Newsweek. During the economic crises of those decades, they didn't just report the news, they turned abstract concepts like inflation and recession into terrifying monsters. You'd see bold, screaming headlines paired with really menacing imagery. A dollar bill being eaten alive by inflation sharks, or Uncle Sam getting crushed by a giant bear labeled recession. These weren't just illustrations, they were powerful statements. They made complex economic forces feel immediate, personal, and frankly, pretty scary. It was a masterclass in visual storytelling, showing how capitalism's highs and lows were felt by everyone on a gut level. It really makes you think about how we visualize economic news today. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into design and history. Hey history buffs and design lovers! Ever wondered how a magazine cover can capture a nation's crisis? Let's travel back to the 1970s and look at Time magazine's iconic Watergate covers. These weren't just headlines. They were powerful visual stories. One of the most striking was Nixon's last stand. Published on August 8, 1974, just before he resigned. The image of a weary, defiant Nixon spoke volumes. But this was just one in a series. Throughout the scandal, Time used art and photography to track the downfall of a president. From shadowy illustrations suggesting conspiracy to stark portraits of a leader under siege, each cover was a chapter in a gripping national drama, showing how visual media can document history in real time. It's a fascinating look at the power of a single image. What do you think is the most impactful cover of all time? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into history.